last time whoa, my voice. Going through puberty. The last time I ripped through this many figures, you know, the Cyborg Superman was a standout. And it was kind of a bummer. I think I did 7 figures in 10 minutes. I'm going to do same thing today. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures I'm going to rip through. Is it more? Definitely much better than last time. This is pretty good, a pretty good stretch of fun, pretty accurate, well done DC Multiverse figures. I'm calling this Multiverse Monday Madness. What the fudge did I... Anyway, whatever. Let's get into the video. Right now, I am pumped up because I have fun toys. I have a slew. That's a word, right? Slew. A crop of fun toys. I got this shit coming out of my freaking ears. Let's get into it right now, today, on Toy Games. Toy Games! Yes! You and me, baby! Toy Games! I can't take it anymore! It's Toy Games! I'm not going to waste your time. This is the worst one first. Only because he can't do shit with his head. It's locked underneath that hood. This is Red Hood after all. I mean, usually he doesn't have a red hood. It's just a mask. The mask is painted well enough, though. I will give it that. This sword is the limpest dick I've ever seen. I've seen many, I guess, in terms of weapons. This is the most limpiest dick weapon I think McFarlane has ever done. It can actually go in the back for storage. Why is there 2? He only comes with 1 sword. You know, I like the texture. If I could say something good about it, I love when McFarlane puts texture over texture over texture over texture. I like the boots. I think he's a fine-looking character, figure, whatever you want to call it. Just standing there. Other than that, figure is a dud. Let's move on. This is Batman Superman. It looks like Batman and Superman and the Power Rangers all got together, and he has some Green Lantern stuff going on. This is the Platinum. Even the regular version, in my opinion, is just as cool. This is on my favorite Buck, that Speeding Bullet Buck, who is, it's pound for pound, my favorite superhero Buck across the board. I don't care what toy makers. I don't care if it's NECA, Mattel, McFarlane, Hasbro. This is probably it's the equivalent of that. What was that Buck that Hasbro first did that was pinless? It was like, I don't know, Cyclops' son or dad or some shit. I don't know. It's as good as that. Terrific Buck, fun figure. I put the little clear, you know, bat symbols in his hand as like a claw for some reason, just to make it fell out. Fun figure. Really like this figure. Was glad that I've seen him. The regular is at GameStop and Walmart. This is at Iridescent. I don't know. I like using these fancy words. Just a Platinum with these legs is at Walmart. Fun figure. Let's move on. Here's more of a classic Cyborg. I think he will fit in well with Teen Titans. I wanted to like this figure more. There's some reuse here with the Murder Machine Buck, and he uses the John Stewart like lantern gun. I don't like that. I think the gun would be, I like it when the gun is more like this, like a Mega Man style big hand cannon, rather than this overly designed mess of a gun. Now it's painted well. The head sculpt is good. I wish it was a little more glossy. I might put gloss on there so he looks shiny. I wish some spots were shinier. The height now, he is on the stand. The height is there. You know, he's about 6'5". He's taller than Nightfall Batman. That's good. It's not a dud. And this comes off. So if you could find an arm with a regular gun, I'm looking at some figures in my room. I don't see any. I think somebody is 3D. I think Professor Bex. I think someone out there is printing more of a classic hand cannon. I get reuse, and I understand it to save money and to keep the price point down. But in the repertoire of guns and stuff, I just wish they didn't pick this one. It's not the worst. And There's some things to like about this figure. I'm kind of, I don't know. I got 2 cyborgs now. This one's a little too big, but it's the way it was in that story arc. This one has a weird gun. I don't know. I'm split. I think I like this one better. I don't hate this figure, though. Got him at Walmart. Oh, let's move on. Clock King, Dr. Time. It's 2 different characters. One messes with, what's that group's name? 2 different characters. Very quirky, very weird, very DC. I think he nailed both of them. The only disappointing thing is this is a Chase Platinum figure, and it should have just been a different figure. It should have been, it says Clock King on the box. It's not Clock King. This is on the Nightfall buck, so if you have Nightfall, you know what you're getting there. Both have wired cloth capes. It's that cheapy vinyl, though. I like when the cloth... These will tear. If you are not careful, these will tear. I like when they're more cloth, like that's on the Robin. I don't have him handy, but I really look at this. This is excellent, though. Really nailed it. Some reuse, like I said, it's reuse. They're sent. Now these are both just repainted, different head. Fun though. You know, when I'm messing with toys, the first thing a figure has to do is a term they use in sports called did he pass the eyeball test? Meaning, you know, if you have a quarterback that can move around like a good athlete and he has a strong arm, if he looks the part, he passes the eyeball test. And then you got to find out if he's smart, if he can read a defense, blah, blah, blah. So with a toy, the first thing is, do these pass the eyeball test? And they do. And then as you start to mess with it, you want to see if the quality is there, if the articulation is there. And as I mentioned, this is on the Nightfall buck, so it moves well. Sculpting is really nicely done. I don't know where this ribbed shirt part comes, though, because that's not on the Nightfall buck. I don't know what figure started that. If anyone knows, leave a comment. Like both these figures. I like the stupid, you know, clock hands for weapons. This is my wheelhouse. I love badass figures and big, you know, guys in armor and shit, but I also like quirky nonsense, and that's what this is. Quirky nonsense. He nailed these 2. So I did find the Batmobile. Well, a friend, Kabito, thank you, found the Batmobile at GameStop. I traded in that damn Star Wars game. I apologize if anyone bought that Star Wars game because of me. I gotta, you know, I will say this before you beat me up on this one. I played for 10 hours. That's getting your money's worth somewhat. A movie costs $20 these days. The game really sucks you in with its atmosphere and its ambiance and the sound effects and the music. But the more you start to play it, the more it starts to become unraveled. After 10 hours, you're just kind of sick of it. I traded that game in for the Batmobile. And I got Alfred here. I think the actor was Michael Poe. The skin tone is a little zombie-ish, though. I will say that. It's a little too white. I know it's an old dude, and as you get older, you lose some of the blood in your cheeks and stuff. I think you lose... I don't know. What's cool is this guy has made Alfred. This guy has made Lucius Fox from the films. I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. If NECA never completes stuff, Mezco never completes stuff. I know Mattel completed some things, but it would be in like weird scales and look kind of funky. They're movie figures. These look great. These head sculpts look fantastic. 2 old dudes just chilling. I know it's not the most exciting figures, but they complete and flesh out the movie waves. Kudos or bravo, whatever the fuck, to the McFarlane team for getting these figures out, even though they came with like Batmobiles and shit. I guess you can get the Platinum Lucius at Walmart. Knocked it out of the park. Got it. I mean, look at them head sculpts. Let's move on to my favorite pickup. One of my most anticipated releases of the year. And I love it when, you know, other than what disappointed me, other than Darkseid, a lot of my biggest, most anticipated figures of the year have been pretty good. And this next figure is no different. Let's get to that now. It seems like, well, earlier in the year, he gave us Lobo and the Space Hog. It was kind of pricey, and now we have Jonah Hex and his horse. I forgot the horse's name. Also a little pricey, exclusively to the McFarlane store. I will start with the head, which I was very worried about. A little soft, meaning the paint isn't punched in that solid. There's not a lot of contrast, but the sculpt is there. It has that ugly, half burnt off, decrepit face. I love the little scowl. So starting with the head, we're off to a good start. Is there some things that are quirky? Yes. It seems like out of nowhere, he is getting away from sculpted ball joints. I noticed it on this Jonah Hex. I also noticed it on that Robin. I don't know what's going on. I hope that doesn't persist. But moving on to the things I like. I love the way these jeans are painted. They're worn out in the knees like jeans will be. The boots have a nice paint on them. This figure has a little, this cross didn't come with it, by the way. It did come with a McFarlane figure, though. This figure has a little bit of love put into it. And the guns look fine. He came with his axe. That's on the cover of a comic and in a bunch of comics. Nice knife here. That is not too limp dicky. This sword, this saber or cutlass, not a saber, that I don't know if he used it in the comics. I know there's been comics where he had swords, but I don't think it was quite like this, like a Civil War cutlass, whatever. There's some love here. There really is. The cloth coat, the duster, if you will. It's kind of like a duster. It looks good. It drapes on him nice. It's a nice thin material, so it doesn't look out of scale. I like this figure. It poses well. Everything's double jointed. The horse, everyone's saying, oh, that horse sucks. The horse, does that, like, what am I looking at here? Like, if you could tell me what sucks. Now, granted, the back leg has a nice big chunky sculpt, and for some reason, this isn't one sculpt. That makes it look a little mechanical, and I don't like that. But other than that, you know, the head, there's articulation there. Is it perfect? Is it amazing? No, but it's a pretty good darn looking horse. I think the issue is Mythic Legions makes the best horse ever made, so people expect that quality with every toy. This rifle looks sweet. It needs a wash, though. It looks a little too toyish, if that makes sense. I really like this release. It is... I know you're going to disagree, or most of you will. If you don't like McFarlane DC Multiverse, this isn't going to sway you. Sometimes DC Multiverse feels somewhere in between NECA and Marvel Legends or Hasbro or probably Black Series. Somewhere in between Black Series and NECA lies certain DC Multiverse figures. And that's what this guy kind of feels like. It's a little bit above a Black Series. You know, when they have good Black Series figures, though, it's fine. Like, Plo Koon comes to mind. And then the sculpt work is as good as a NECA figure. It's just not painted as well. And that's what we have here with this Jonah Hex. I think altogether, it's a wonderful little toy package. The price was a little too steep, but I'm satisfied with it. And it completes a very good month of toy collecting. My life has been up and down. Well, more up than down, I would say. That's why I always love to fall back to my favorite hobby and my passion, and that's toy collecting. And normally, never disappoints. And this figure really exceeded my expectations because I thought that head was going to be shit. And it is not. Tonight, if you're a fan of I and Yojo Jerk and Rocco the Great, we got a double header, baby. 7 o'clock, we're going to be over on Rocco the Great's channel. And then at 8 o'clock on Yojo Jerk, will be 2 hours of nonstop bullshit. I will tell you how my date night went Friday with the wife. I got lucky, not with getting laid, but in another way. That'll be a fun story to tell tonight. I hope you guys can join me. Raw Dogs, I love you. Take care. Have fun.
Things, you see? Things, objects, artifacts, paintings, and They are exactly what they appear to be. They never change. They never disappoint. There's the beauty.
Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah!